It's time to take 5. Now you know.
If you or a loved one is injured by the negligence of others, such as an auto accident, for example, what happens if an attorney or someone representing an attorney contacts you? With us today is Matthew Schwencke of the law firm of Searcy, Denney to explain how some lawyers break the rules. Matthew, are there rules that lawyers have to follow when it comes to contacting potential clients?
Yes. So every lawyer in the state of Florida has to follow rules set forth by the Florida Bar. We call them the ethical rules or the rules of conduct. They're not discretionary. These are mandatory rules. All of us have to follow them. One of the topics that are covered in those rules are how to properly contact a lawyer and how a lawyer can properly contact a client.
And what is solicitation?
Solicitation in the context of a lawyer and client relationship is when a lawyer contacts a client and seeks to represent that client for the purposes of representing the client in the case. It's referred to as solicitation. It can occur in person, it can occur over the telephone, it could even occur in writing.
So what do I do if I'm improperly solicited by a lawyer or someone working on the lawyer's behalf?
Sure, and this is really important because this happens in Florida. You hear about lawyers who are called ambulance chasers. There are runners. If you're in the hospital and you're injured, and a lawyer or someone even working on the lawyer's behalf, hey, I noticed you're injured in a collision, injured due to some other event, here's my card, we can represent you on that. You should know that's illegal in-person solicitation, and what you should do if that happens to you is, first of all, not sign anything that the lawyer gives you, and also contact the Florida Bar. You can go to www.floridabar.org, and there's contact information there for you to report this illegal behavior that should not occur.
Are lawyers allowed to solicit potential clients in person?
Yeah, emphatically, the answer to that question is no. That's illegal conduct, and the rules that regulate the Florida Bar say that lawyers cannot do that. And let me give you an example. If you were involved in a car crash, hopefully that doesn't happen, but if you were, and someone were to come up after the crash occurred who didn't witness the crash, and that person is a lawyer or is working on behalf of a lawyer and says, hey, my firm represents individuals who are injured by car crashes. Here's my card. Give me a call. I can represent you. That's illegal in-person solicitation. There's also other forms of solicitation that are illegal. Let's say you leave the scene. You went and you got care and treatment because you were injured in the crash, and the phone rings. And someone calls and says that they're a lawyer or they're working on behalf of a lawyer, and they learned that you were injured in a car accident, and what they do is they represent people who are injured in car accidents. If that occurs, that is another example of illegal solicitation. Now, it's different than if a client contacts a lawyer, okay? That's permissible. If you learn from a friend, a family member, or if you've done your own research about a lawyer who could potentially help you, you are certainly free to contact that lawyer on your own.
What are the proper ways for people to contact lawyers if they feel the need for representation?
Sure, and remember there's lots of different areas under the law that a client could need representation. A good way to start is to ask local people in the community, friends, relatives, neighbors. Identify the specific area of practice you need and see if they have any suggestions. Also, the internet is a really good resource. You could type into Google what your legal need is, and a multitude of different law firms and law practices will come up. And what's really important is you want to select a lawyer who can back up what they say on the internet. Does this lawyer try cases? Do they have proven results? Do your own research because this is your own potential claim, and it's really important that you choose the right lawyer.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you.
If you have any questions about your rights and improper solicitation, just visit searcylaw.com.